Hello everybody, we're going to go over finding the area of compound figures using a subtraction method. So I am going to go through this really quickly, so please pause the video at any point to copy anything down. So the area of a rectangle, we remember, is base times height. So if we have a rectangle that has side lengths of 2 and 5, we just multiply 2 times 5, and that gives us an area of 10. Let's say that's centimeters squared. If we have a triangle that's 2 and 5, then let's also call that centimeters. Remember, that's base times height divide 2. And so we get 2 multiplied by 5, and then we divide that by 2. We put that all in the calculator, and we get 5 square centimeters. And parallelograms are actually not going to be used in this assignment, so feel free to skip that. So before, we found the area of these compound figures by separating it into shapes we do know and adding them together. So last time we did something like this, found an area of this shape, added them together. So now we're going to use a different method. We're going to use subtraction. So instead of separating it, we're going to find the area of the entire shape here first. And then we're going to subtract out or delete this portion at the bottom. So let's find the side lengths of the entire shape. Side length is going to be 8 by 8. So that's 8 times 8, and that gives us 64, so that's the bigger shape. And now we just want to essentially delete out the area of that portion. And so this is going to be 3 times 2, which is 6. So we just take our 64, we subtract our 6, and we get 58 square miles. Now, once again, we can make a full rectangle here, and so we find the area of the entire shape, which is going to be 9 by 16. We'll multiply those, and then we're going to subtract out this shape here and this shape here. So let's find the two side lengths of this shape. Looks like this can be 5, and then we want to take this 8 and then add it with this 5 also. So 8 plus 5 is going to give us this side length, this 13. And this is 5. So we're going to subtract out 5 times 13. And then the last shape that we need to get is we need to subtract out this one. And that's going to be 2 times 5. So we will subtract 2 times 5. So 9 times 16 is going to be 144. Yes, I used my calculator. And then we're going to subtract out 5 times 13, which is 65. So we're going to take this 144, we're going to subtract 65, and then we are going to subtract 10, which gives us a final total of 69 square inches, which is what we got on the last notes with the same problem. Lastly, we have this shape, a little more complicated. Once again, we're going to find the area of the entire thing, so we have to look around a little bit. So to get this top part, it's going to be 6 plus 3, which is 9. 9 plus 7, so it's going to be 16, so this entire side is 16, and then we find the height, that's going to be 15 here, and then 8 here. 15 plus 8 is 23. So we're going to do 16 times 23 for the big one. And now let's find each blank space. So these sides right here, those ones are going to be 6 times 9. That gives us 54. Right, so we're going to subtract this one. Let's find this one here. That's 15 times 7. And so 15 times 7 is going to give us 105. So we're going to subtract out that 105. This portion here, 8 times 5 is 40. And then let's get this little triangle. Remember, this is going to be base times height divide 2. And so we can use this 8, and that'll be this height here. And then this portion here, we do have to look around a little bit. So we see that the entire thing is 16, right? And we also see that we need to get this portion here. So if we know the whole thing is 16, we can subtract out this 5, that gives us 11, subtract out this 7, that gives us this distance is 4, right? So 4 plus 7 is going to give us 11, right? So this is going to be 11. 8 times 11 divide 2, and that gives us 44. So we take our initial one, 16 times 23, which is 368. We subtract out the 54. We subtract out the 105. We subtract out the 40. And we subtract out the 44. And we get a total of 125. Thank you for listening.